my name is Kristen, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about why I started Deeper State Keto and kind of my results and what have you. So initially I started keto because of an injury from the Marine Corps, and after 7 years of dealing with all of that, it's a back issue. An acupuncturist told me you should try the ketogenic diet because it'll help with inflammation, and that led me into keto and then finding the Deeper State Keto course. I started this course because I had, at first I was like being really strict about everything when I started keto, and then I started getting to the point where I was indulging too much in the keto treats and like doing all the baking and things like that, and I just needed something to get me back on track, and this was the perfect program to do that. So overall, from April 23rd to July 28th, I did 14 weeks. I lost 7.8 pounds, 15.75 inches all over my body, and the big places that I lost those inches were 3 from my waist, 3 inches from my chest, 2 inches from my shoulders, 2.5 inches from my hips, 2 inches from my butt, and 1.5 inches around each thigh. So I mean, that's a lot. And then body fat, I lost 3.7%. Gym performance, my lifts increased significantly, and I think it's because I was really pushing myself. I went from only being able to do body weight squats and only feeling comfortable doing body weight squats because of my back to, and I know I can do more than this, but I've been trying to be really careful. I went up to 75 pounds on the leg press for like 15 to 20 reps, and I could still do more. So that was significant. Let's see, bicep curls, I went from using 10s to using 17.5s. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. I mean, come on. Shoulder press, I went from using 20 pound bar to using a 50-pound bar. My lateral and side raises, I went from using 7.5s to 12s. The chest press, I went from using 15s to 25s. The basic thing here is that my lifts went up a lot. Oh, and a big thing for me, okay, so I used to just not be able to do push-ups. I would get on my knee, or I would do this thing, you know? But I wasn't really doing anything. I mean, you start somewhere, you gotta start somewhere. So then I was just doing knee push-ups, and I would get all the way down to my chest and all the way back up. But then I got to the point where I started feeling a little more comfortable, and I started doing full push-ups, like off my knees, going all the way down to my chest touches the floor and coming back up. Like that's huge for me. And then pull-ups, I went from doing 85 pounds assisted pull-ups to like 55. Pretty proud of myself. And I mean, that's what you get from this course. You feel so proud and so accomplished, and it's not just because of the scale. So when you're doing this, do not focus on the scale. I know we all do it, and we all say don't focus on it later, and it's just something we all say, but seriously, you don't focus on the scale. Okay, so Deeper State Keto really helped me because it helped me stop binge eating all the time. I would do that every week. Like I would do great during the week, and I'd binge eat all the weekends, and then I'd have to spend the next week recovering from it, and then I would feel great on Friday, and it would just be like, it's like this cycle, you know? So it helped me stop doing that, which in turn made me feel super confident. I know when you like binge eat, you feel really gross and like you don't want to go anywhere and you cancel plans, and at least that's for me, but like I didn't do that. I always felt confident. I mean, that's a huge thing, and that's something that I'll take. I mean, I'm just gonna run with it, and I'm gonna take it from this course and use that power and that control that I learned throughout the rest of my life. Food is fuel for my body. It's fuel for our bodies. We need to take pride in our bodies and treat them nicely, and not reward ourselves with food, but reward ourselves with, like, mine, for an example, is rock climbing. So I haven't gone yet. I just finished last weekend the course, so I'm going to go either this weekend or next weekend, but that's my reward for myself, is to go rock climbing for the first time. So I'm super excited about that. Another thing I learned is the type of food that you're feeding yourself really does matter. And you learn what foods work well for you and what foods your body doesn't really like. Like throughout my keto journey so far, I've learned that my body doesn't like dairy, and I never knew that. So I don't do dairy anymore. This has taught me so much about like food and our bodies and how our bodies use this food. Like it fuels our workouts, it fuels our energy levels and our daily productivity. I mean, those things skyrocketed for me. And it's not like I was eating bad before, minus like the weekend things. But I mean, daily productivity, energy levels, like people notice. And when other people notice, you're like, oh yeah, I guess, yeah, that has improved quite a bit. Okay, so my top 3 tips for success on this journey is number 1, be patient with yourself. Do not rush it. So I know we're all excited when we want to start something new, we just want to jump in. But a lot of people had to stop during this course and start at the beginning and onboard because they realized their calories were too low. And that's something you really, really, really needed to look at. And look at yourself and be like, okay, is this just something that's going to be like 90 days for me and then I'm done? Or am I really trying to improve my body and improve myself and heal myself? So you have to think about that and just be patient with yourself. Do not rush it. Don't rush on. Don't skip onboarding because you don't think you're going to need it, but you're going to need it. Make sure you look at that section in the course. And also, don't rush the whole finding your protein and fat ratio. During phase 1, you're going to find your ideal protein and fat ratios. Don't rush that. Really take the time week by week and write down notes and notice how your body's reacting, because that's important, and you're going to use that information even after the course because you're going to realize what makes you feel good and bad, like I was talking about earlier. Number 2, keep track of your progress. If you can get an in-body or a DEXA scan done, get it done. I wish I would have done that. I bought one of those handheld things, like I said. I bought one of those handheld things a week after I started, and I had already lost 3.8 pounds by then, so like I don't really know where I started at, and I wish I would have done in-body and DEXA scan, and I did keep very good track with measurements and how I was feeling and weight and everything like that, and ketones, and so I kept track of that, which was very, very nice to see, and all of my lifts and everything. So that's very important because you're gonna want that information later. Photos, everything. And ladies, make sure you take a photo with the same top and same bottoms on, okay? Because like my beginning photo, I'm in a giant sports bra, in photo, bikini tops. You can't really tell all the differences that my back and front had, but there were some big differences. You just can't see because those two things are so different, and one's covering my back up and the other isn't. So yeah, ladies, do a bikini top, okay? Number 3, and it's kind of like an A and B situation. So number 3A is stay strong and be consistent. Matt and Meg always say this, and so does Robert. Just the one time that you give yourself a little bit of wiggle room, it's going to be easier and easier to do that. I had, I think, 2 times where I ate too much, more than I should have, and which made the second time easier. And then I was like, nope. I kept watching the videos, and I was like, what are you doing? You want to get better results. So I could have had even better results than I had this time. The stronger you are for a long period of time, the better you're going to feel about sticking to that, because you're going to be like, I've worked so hard for this long, I'm not going to cut it off now. No. Number 3B is don't be afraid to ask questions on the forums and on IG. Like, you have a huge database of people who have finished this now. Reach out to us, Ketofied Veteran, and we want to share this information. I promise. We are a team. We're a Deeper State Keto team. Some of my go-to meals, I'm very regimented with meals, like even before this and before keto. I just like having the same thing. Excuse me. I like having the same foods So I kind of stuck to that because it was easy to manipulate your macros from those specific foods, especially with mayonnaise, I've learned, and hot dogs. Weird, I know, and eggs. So my go-to things were, like I said, eggs, Applegate natural hot dogs, 80/20 ground beef, pulled pork, macadamia nut milk, unsweetened if you have not tried it. Oh my gosh, I blended with some ice and like a half a scoop of vanilla MCT oil powder. You guys, come on. But make sure you pick things that you like, and not just, okay, well this looks good and someone else had that, so I'll use it for me too. You might not like that. And then you're stuck with it for a week, and that's where the slippery slopes come in. Like, I don't want to eat that again. I'm just gonna go here and figure something out. Don't do that. Use things that you like and manipulate them to work into your macros. That's what's another great thing about this course is like, they give you your macros and you can make it what you want. It's fun. Like, have fun with it. Some of my biggest takeaways from Deeper State Keto are, I know that I have certain trigger foods, and I found that out through this course. And that makes me realize when I do, or I am around those foods, I feel stronger now because I know that I can say no to them. Like keto treats. I'm never gonna break keto. I'm not gonna do that because I know I have medical reasons of why I'm doing it. And I spent 7 years with back pain. I'm not breaking keto. But when you overdo it on keto foods, it builds up and it's not good. I learned that I can stay strong and work through issues in other ways besides just with food. We never really think about our issues really deeply because some of us turn to food. When you don't have that food to turn to, you have to start realizing what these issues are, why they're occurring, why are you still letting those happen in your life? Is there a way to prevent these issues? Let's try and prevent them. So it was very, very helpful in realizing that kind of stuff. This was by far the best takeaway that I could have gotten from this course, is just learning that when you have issues, you don't need to turn to food. Sit down, feel your feelings. It sucks. Yeah, it sucks at first. You're just like, I don't want to feel this. I don't want to deal with these issues. So our go-to is to cover them up with food, but this course is just, it makes you reflect and really think about things. And I tell you what, it has helped me in more ways than I even ever thought or imagined. You know, people always say, you start a course and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get like shredded. I'm gonna have abs that I've never had. And that wasn't, yeah, we all have those thoughts, but you quickly realize that's not what this is. It's just the most amazing thing. I feel stronger mentally, physically, emotionally. I mean, how does a workout nutrition program do that? It helps, but you put in the work. That's all. It helped me realize it's not about weight. It's about how you feel physically, mentally, and emotionally. And now I feel awesome, and I know I can tackle issues. So I hope all of you get even more than what I got out of it, because I got out so much. Good luck. You're gonna do awesome. Be patient, be strong, be consistent. And don't forget to ask questions.